Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langhayate girim, yatkripa tamaham vande paramananda madhavam, sthapakaya cha dharmasya, sarva dharmaswarupine, avatara varisthaya, ramakrishnaya te namaha, ratnakara dhautapadam, himalaya kiritinim, brahmarajarshiratnadhyam, vande bharatamataram, sadashiva samarambham, shankaracharya madhyamam, asmadacharya paryantam, vande guru paramparam. Namaste everyone, welcome back to this unique course called Stories from the Upanishads, Lessons for a Meaningful Life. We have seen 13 stories from various Upanishads and loads of learnings. Today we are on the 14th day, just a day left to complete our course. But today the story that we are taking is going to be the pinnacle teaching of the Vedanta. And I'm not going to give you the complete teaching, but let me try to reveal it as a story. Once upon a time, just imagine a Vedic society where loads of people following the dharma according to their varnashrama. And here was one family, a priest's family, a Brahmin family by birth, and not just by birth, by guna and karma, by characteristics and occupation, they were Brahmins. It comes from a lineage. The father learns, teaches, the son also learns, teaches, and it goes on. And here was a sage called Uddalaka. He was a very proficient teacher. He had his own Gurukula, teaching many students, going to different homes and performing the rituals and becoming a Purohita. Purohita meaning who wishes good things to happen for the society or the city that he stays. He had one son called Shwetaketu. Shwetaketu, being only one son of Uddalaka, was very well groomed, was very well cared, loved and affectionate. But this boy was a casual boy who didn't take life so seriously. He was always enjoying, playing, eating and having fun time with friends. The father didn't say anything. Time passed. Years passed. At the age of 8, he was initiated into Brahmopadesha by doing the Upanayana Samskaram, the sacred thread ceremony. And after that, Uddalaka was expecting the son Shwetaketu to come and seek for knowledge, because from that time he would become the Brahmachari. His stage of life, the first stage of life called the Brahmacharya ashrama, starts where he will be learning what to learn and how to lead a life. But this boy didn't take it seriously. He was doing the regular rituals like the Sandhya, Vandana, Agnikari, all those things, but never interested in studies. He continued to play. He continued to enjoy. He continued his own way of life. Eat, drink, merrymaking, play with friends. Everything is happening. But years passed again. Here was a boy of 12 years, but still not going to school. Just imagine the plight of a father. The same thing happened to Uddalaka. My son is already 12. He's not going to school. He's not showing that interest in studies. What would be his future? He was very much concerned and worried. So one day, he called his son, Shwetaketu, come here. Shwetaketu came. He sat next to his father. And the father addressed the son, Shwetaketu, you're already 12 years and you're not showing any interest in studies. Don't you know you come from a family of scholars? Don't you know you come from a family of teachers? And you, being the son of such a great family, if you don't learn, you will be called not as a Brahmin. Even though you will be called as a Brahmin, it is a pseudo-Brahmin, not by guna or karma. You will be called by Brahmana as Jati Brahmana, or rather Brahmana Bandhu. Even if you are recognized or identified as a Brahmin, not because of your stature, you will be identified like his son, Uddalaka's son, Aruna's grandson. You will be remembered by your relatives, not by your own identity. Don't you think you need to have your own identity and pursue knowledge and become a real Brahmin by karma and guna? This was the concern that he exhibited in front of the son, because he never compelled the son to go to school. He always wanted the son to get the desire to learn and then go to school. Today he is trying to make him aware about his responsibilities, and this young boy, Shwetaketu, understanding the concern, realizing his responsibilities, he asked his father, Oh, yes, I understand my father. What should I do now? What should I do now? And the father said, may you go to Gurukula and learn what needs to be learned. The young boy of 12 years, unlike the current younger generation or modern generation, he was obedient and he told, okay, father, you tell me where should I go, which Gurukula should I get admitted to. I will go and I will learn. Father went in search of Gurukula because here is a boy of 12 years but not even seen a school. Others would have been gone at the age of 8. So he needs some special attention, extra attention, one-to-one individual meetings. So he went in search of Gurukulas where he could get that apt teaching, apt learning environment. So he found one and he told the son to go to that Gurukula and stay there and learn everything that is possible. This time, Shwetaketu, being self-motivated to learn, he goes with a good mindset to learn. He reaches Gurukula, he stays there, starts understanding different sciences, Vedic rituals, chantings, whatnot. Once in a while, he comes back to home, visits home, meets his parents, he would have a good time, goes back to Gurukula. Like this, years passed and passed. How many years? Many would be knowing, because from the previous stories, we would know 12 years is the basic graduation time. 12 years of staying in Gurukula, learning from the Guru, learning not just the science but how to live by seeing how the Guru behaves. So he understands that at the age of 24 he graduates from the Gurukula, and not as an ordinary student but an extraordinary student, like a gold medalist. Like a gold medalist. He is something like extraordinary in all kinds of sciences, in chanting, Veda, everything. So just imagine any university graduate coming out of as a gold medalist would be known in the nearby vicinity. Similarly, he was popular. Shwetaketu became famous and popular in nearby vicinity places, and everyone started respecting him. And after convocation, he is coming back to his home, and father knows that the son is coming back after 12 years with his certificate and with his knowledge and scholarship. He is waiting, the home is decorated, it is in a celebration mode. He was in a very good celebration mode, and he's peeping through the window, waiting to see his son coming. His son comes to the village, he's entering to the street where his home was, and he's been interacted with many people of the village. Oh, Shwetaketu, you already came. I heard you are a gold medalist. You're such a bright student. Everyone are praising him, and he's taking it very positively. And if someone not giving so much of respect, he's feeling bad. He's not commanding respect, rather he's demanding respect. Even though elders are coming in his way, he's not even prostrating. He's not giving the due respect for them. He's not giving due respect for the work that they do, the knowledge that they have. He's having that pride and arrogance of learning, of scholarship. Shwetaketu, when he's coming like this, Uddalaka became very sad. Uddalaka was disappointed. What has happened? He might have learnt all the sciences, but the basic humanity, if he is lacking, what use of this science or maths or the knowledge? Vidya should lead to Vinaya. Knowledge should give humility. Unless it gives humility, it doesn't serve the purpose of education. So the whole celebration mode came to an end, and it became like a silence. And he disregarded all those things. He was just waiting to receive his son. His son came happily and gave a hug to his father and started showing all his certificates, credentials, medals that he has received during his Gurukula time. And he was showing, I have done this, I have done that, I am the expert in this, I am first in that. He's explaining all these things. Father looked at his face, the pride and ego and whatnot. He said, okay, good, appreciate it, good, okay, go back. And he started observing the boy's behavior in the next days to come. Every day he used to sit on a chair with one leg on the other, calling others, asking them to serve him. Even his mother, he would call him and ask all the things to come to near his place. Even to talk to his father, no respect, no prostration, nothing. Then he felt very bad. Is this what the education should lead to? I can't let this happen. One day he decided, Uddalaka decided and asked, Shwetaketu, come here, I want to talk to you. Shwetaketu came just like a current teenager boy with a full of pride, and he would know everything. He comes, he sits next to his father, one leg on the other. Yes, father, what do you want? Then the father asks, son, looking at your certificates and everything, I think you know almost all the knowledge that is there in the Vedas. Yes, of course, I've showed my certificates, I've showed my medals. You still have any doubt? Or do you have any question to ask? You can ask me, I'll answer all those questions. This was the heights of arrogance. The father is running a Gurukula from many years. Still, he didn't want his son to study in his Gurukula because he would take it as granted. So he has sent him to another Gurukula. But now the son comes after 12 years saying, I know everything, you ask me any questions and I would answer. He may be really knowing it. He may be having the pride because of the knowledge and scholarship, definitely. But that pride should have a limit. Limit. Understanding that, the father says, okay son, I have a question to you. What is that? I know that you would have understood what the Shastras. I know you would know Vedas. I know you would know Vedanga, grammar. All these things I know you would know. But I want to know whether you know that unique knowledge which is beyond Vedas, which is there in Vedas but beyond Vedas. Do you know that? And son Shwetaketu felt surprised. It's a part of Veda but beyond Veda. It's unique. I don't know. What is this? Father, what are you speaking about? Please be clear. I'm not understanding your question at all. The father understood. Okay, now I can pitch in what he wants to give. He wants to pitch in. Now Uddalaka says, did you ask for that knowledge by which the unseen can be seen, unheard can be heard, ununderstandable can be understood, unthinkable can be thought? He went on to explain all these things. And when Uddalaka was explaining all these things, Shwetaketu is puzzled. Shwetaketu is surprised. How can there be a knowledge where it says unseen can be seen, unheard can be heard, ununderstandable can be understood? Father, what are you speaking? Don't speak all these puzzling words. Tell me directly what you want to know. Then father asked, okay, let me ask you a direct question. Have you asked for that knowledge by knowing which everything is known, nothing left blank? And if you don't know that, whatever you know, it wouldn't have its value. Do you know that knowledge? Kasminnu bhagavo vijnate sarvamidam vijnatam bhavatiti. By knowing which everything is known. Do you know that? Son again felt like, Father, you are telling it's a direct question, but I'm not understanding this direct question itself. How can this be possible? By knowing one science, I know that science, not the other sciences. By knowing physics, I know only physics, not chemistry. By knowing economics, I know economics, not business studies. By knowing one field, how can the other field be known? When this is the case, how are you telling by knowing one knowledge, all other knowledge becomes known? This is impossible. You're speaking something impossible. Father says, Somya, he addresses, Somya, don't be arrogant. Oh pleasing son, Somya, this is possible. This is possible. And son says, everyone can say that this is possible. Tell me, how is it? Okay, tell me, how is it possible? Then father says, I would not give you the teaching, I will give you examples. I know you are a logically thinking person or reasoning person who knows the bit of logic, reasoning, rational, all these things you know. I would give you examples, you think over it. Son says, okay, go ahead. Why not? Father says, do you know pot? Yes, I know pot, where we store water. Do you know the cup which is made of clay? Yes, I know. Do you know the plate? Yes, I know. Do you know all the materials that are made out of clay? The son says, all the materials, I don't know. But I know many. I know many. Although all those things that you said, the pot, the plate, the glass of water, or even the brick, whatever, those things I know, but I don't know all the products which are made out of clay. Okay. Then the father asks, do you know the bangle? Yes, I know. Do you know bracelet? Yes. Do you know the chain? Yes. Do you know the earring? Yes, of course. Do you know the hand ring? Yes. Do you know all the ornaments that are made of gold? All the ornaments I may not know, but I know many. I know many, but I don't know all. Son accepts. Then father asks, do you know the nail cutter? Yes. Do you know the iron filings? Yes. Do you know all the products which are made of iron? The son says, no, not all the products. Not all the products I know, but I know many products. Then the father asks, now I have a question to you. If you want to know all the products which are made out of clay, if you know the ingredients of clay, if you know the essence of clay, if you have the knowledge of clay, don't you think you know all the products of clay? What actually a pot is? It is nothing but a clay in a different form. What is a plate? Clay in a different form. What is a mug? Clay in a different form. Brick? Clay in a different form. So all the products are nothing but the cause in a different form. Don't you accept it? Son says, yeah, of course, correct. Extending the same principle, if you know the gold, the essence, if you have the knowledge of gold, you know all the ornaments which are made of gold, correct? Of course, yes. If you know the essence of the cause, that is the iron, you know all the products which are made of iron, correct? Correct. Definitely correct. Now I know. The son says, Shwetaketu says, now I know. I know clay, so I know all the products of clay. I know gold, I know all the products of gold. I know iron, I know all the products of iron. So that means, if I know the cause, I know all the products. Thank you, Father, which I had not known. Thank you, Father. I didn't know this. Though I was knowing this, I had not brought into this forefront. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. And he was ready to go. Then Uddalaka felt very bad. Son, wait. Shwetaketu, wait. I am not here to teach you the gold or the clay or the iron. They are the causes, definitely. But I am not here to teach you about the causes. I have asked a question by knowing which everything is known. Everything means everything in this world. The whole world. Consider this as the product. Each and every object as the product. By knowing the cause of all the causes, you would know each and everything. Do you know that thing? I am not here to teach you about the gold or the clay or the iron. I am here to ask you about the cause of all causes. The karana of all the karana, meaning the mula karanam, the cause of all causes. Do you know that? Do you know that principle from which everything is come and because of which everything exists and in which everything gets resolved? By knowing one thing, everything is known. Do you know that? Son says, no. Did you ask for it? The father asks, did you ask your teacher about this knowledge from which everything is known? Then the son should have told, I didn't ask. But do you know the arrogance that Shwetaketu showcased? He said, Father, I am a very obedient student, sincere student, intelligent student, and most loved student by my guru. He has taught me whatever he knew in all sciences. When he has not taught me this, that means he doesn't know this knowledge. He doesn't know. That's why he wouldn't have taught me. So look at the arrogance. He is telling the guru doesn't know, that's why he has not taught me. The father says, this is the only science. This is the only aspect which is taught only if requested. Did you request for that knowledge? Son says, no. I didn't know there was such a teaching. I didn't know there was such a knowledge. So I didn't ask for. Then Uddalaka says, then it's high time. You should get ready to go to Gurukula. So tomorrow you will be leaving to Gurukula. I will make the arrangements. Uddalaka went and started making the arrangements. And this Shwetaketu starts thinking. He has lived 12 years of life in Gurukula, strict life, disciplined life, Brahmacharya, celibacy, austerity, dieting life. Very not a comfortable life that everyone would love to. It's a learning life, not a comfortable life. So he felt, oh, then my father is going to send me again back to Gurukula. That means what? I should go back and stay there till I learn that thing by which everything is known. And if my teacher starts giving huge lectures for years, I should stay there again for years to come. He felt very bad. He felt disappointed. He was scared. Next day morning, Uddalaka was ready to send him to Gurukula, by that time Shwetaketu comes with Samit in his hand, the dry stick on his hand, and brings it to his father and gives him and surrenders himself by prostrating to his father, saying, Adhihi Bhagavo Brahma. Meaning, I know that you know this knowledge, because you have asked this question about this knowledge, means you would definitely know. And when I know a teacher knows this, why should I go to some other teacher? You are the best teacher who can teach me. You know my mentality. You know my attitude. You know my skills. So please request you to teach me that thing by which everything is known. Once this was told to Uddalaka, at that moment, father changed the role from being a father to guru, and son became the disciple. Just like in the Mahabharata war, when Krishna Arjuna were just the friends or a charioteer and a master, once Arjuna told Shishyasteham Tvam Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam, that moment Krishna changed his role to become a guru and Arjuna became a disciple. In that similar way, Uddalaka became the guru and Shwetaketu became the disciple. And Shwetaketu asked, please teach me. Please teach me. And Uddalaka knows. The Shwetaketu knows all the sciences. He is good in reasoning. He is good at rational intellect. He has everything. Only thing that was missing was the humility and this knowledge. So he told, I will accept you as my disciple. Sit. I will teach you that. I will teach you that. And he starts with a bang. This occurs in the Chandogya Upanishad, 6th chapter. And the bang, the direct teaching starts with sadevasomya idamagra asit ekameva advidiyam. Just see. Sad eva idam agre asit. Here, before all this creation, before all this came into existence, there was only one thing which is called as Sat. Satya, existence principle called Brahman or consciousness. Asit. Then, that too he continued. Ekam, eva, advitiyam. It was one without a second. It was one without a second. There was no other thing existed. And son told, that means it was one. Now it has become many. It was one. Now it has become many. Means it was there, the Brahman. It was there, now it is there. Because asit is a past tense. Then father told, son, I thought you are a very good intellectual person. Don't you know the clay pot example? Clay was there. Does that mean clay is not there now? Even after becoming a pot, clay is still there. So the clay has become, within quotes, clay has taken a form to become a pot. In the similar way, sadevasomya, the Sat existence was there. It has manifested into so much of existence. The existing objects that you see in the world, it has become the world. Become within quotes. Then the boy told, yes, I understood the example. I understood this Drishtanta and Dashtanta both. But now I have a question. How can one become many? How can one become many? One Brahman appearing as so many. How can this be possible? Then the father told, let me do it as an experiment. Stay here. He went out. He went to his garden. There were many trees and he took one seed from a tree and he came back. In the class, he told, son, what is this? He looked at it. It's a seed, banyan tree seed. Okay, break it. He broke it. What do you see? Small particles in the seed. Okay, take one particle. Break it. He started breaking. What do you see? I see still more finer particles. Take one. Break it. He broke it. What do you see? I don't see anything. There is nothing. Okay, there is nothing. Now the father asked, do you think from nothing the whole tree came? The seed becomes a tree which gives birth to thousands of seeds. One seed becoming thousands of seeds. And that one seed has thousands of particles. And even that one particle has many subatomic particles which you cannot see. And that power which was not seen, do you think it was not there? From that one seed, Just like the tree becomes, just because of one Brahman, all these, the whole world of objects has appeared or projected. Did you understand? And that you are. Tattvamasi. Then son told, yes, I'm getting it. But still have a question. When we don't see it, how can we appreciate it? How can we accept it? I can't accept this. I'm able to understand, but I can't accept this. I can't appreciate. Can you please teach me further? Then father told, okay, I'll do one more experiment. Let's do one more experiment. Bring a glass of water. Bring a bowl of water. He brought a bowl of water. Then go to the kitchen and bring some salt. He brought the salt. Put it in the water. He put it in the water. Then he said, now the class is over. Go and take rest. At 5 o'clock, let's meet. He goes and he takes a power nap and he's thinking about the teaching that was given. And 5 o'clock, he comes back. The father says, are you ready for the class? Yes. He comes with a book and a pen and everything. He says, keep all your book and pen that side. Come here. See, where is the salt that you put? He sees. He's not able to see. That is not visible. Father, the salt is not visible. Okay. Take a spoon. Uddarane. Take a spoon. Take the water from the bottom of the bowl. He takes it and asks to taste. Taste it. How is it? Salty. Take a sip from the top. He takes it. Salty. Take from the right. Take from the left. Take from any part. How is the taste? It is salty. Then the father says, go and do a distillation process. He does a distillation process. The salt remains again. The water is evaporated. Now, where was the salt when you were not able to appreciate and see? It was there, but not visible. In the similar way, in this in the world of objects, though you cannot see, there is that existence principle, the consciousness principle, the bliss principle, the limitless principle called the Satchidananda Ananta Atma, the Brahman, and that you are. And like this, and he asks, how to know this? Acharyat Purusha Eva Veda. Acharyat Eva Purusha Veda. This has to be known by approaching a guru. This is not my statement. This is the statement of the Upanishad. Acharyat Eva Purusho Veda. By approaching a competent teacher alone you can get it. And the last teaching as that Brahman from which the whole existence has come, that you are. And the message is, Aitadatmya idam sarvam tat satyam sa atma tattvamasi Shwetaketu. Tattvamasi Shwetaketu. And Uddalaka repeats it 9 times, giving different experiments, different examples and different logic. 8 times he listens to the instructions. And Shwetaketu was not completely convinced. He questions again, and questions again. And when it was told the 9th time, the whole doubts, all the doubts were removed. And he says, now I have understood. Now I have understood the reality. And that reality is, I am that. I am that. So this is the pinnacle of teaching of the Vedanta, where it says the whole existence consciousness principle is you are that. And if we understand and if we are able to appreciate it, then there is nothing which is left unknown. Otherwise, whatever we know, it becomes a superficial thing, an aparavidya. And this is the only paravidya by knowing which everything is known. So in that sense, let us understand this reality of Brahman as the existence principle within our own hearts, as the consciousness principle. With that, let us move to the key learnings. When we go to the key learnings, there are so many learnings that we can cull out from this beautiful story that comes in the Chandogya Upanishads of 6th chapter. The first and the foremost, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, it doesn't come by birth, it comes by qualification, the characteristics and occupation. That was what told by Uddalaka to his son. In that sense, today, whatever we have, those things are just by birth. In Mahabharata it says, Janmano jayate Shudraha, Samskara dvija uchyate, Pandityat Vidyat bhavati panditaha, Brahmajnanat Brahmana Uchyate. By birth, everyone is a Shudra. So if we have to graduate, and everyone can become Brahmin by knowledge of Brahman itself. So in that sense, we need to understand the Varnashrama Vyavastha in its truest sense. Second, father Uddalaka had a lot of concern about his son, but never forced him. Today we see whenever our children don't go in the way that we expect, we push them, we pressurize them, we put stress on them, because of which many a times they broke down. But here the father is teaching us how to make the child understand his or her responsibility. He counseled him, and he made the child understand, yes, I need to study. This is my responsibility, and that's how I can gain respect. So this is the way the father conveyed the student or the child about his responsibilities. Son, being an obedient son, followed the instructions of his father, and he was a very sincere student, went to Gurukula and studied sincerely. All the sciences. He knew all sciences, that we have to accept. But later what happened? Son's scholarship turned into arrogance. Arrogance, which should not have happened. Pride came. And he thought, there is no more to learn. There's nothing more to learn. I know everything. He came with that much of pride, even to ask his father, if you have any doubts, you ask me. I will answer. So, Vidya should lead to humility. That is a common message which we have seen in many of the stories. And father, when he saw his son being arrogant, he didn't shout at him. He showed more love. He showed more affection. And he made him understand there is something which he doesn't know. Be aware of the mistakes, or be aware of that person, what he knows and what he don't know. Then son, initially not accepting, then doubting, then questioning, finally understanding there is some knowledge like this. He accepted, yes, there is a knowledge which I don't know, now I want to know it. And he approached the father like a guru. How to approach a father also we saw. The methodology to approach a guru, that is also important. Finally, how the teaching went on? It was a different methodology, a pedagogical change that we see, apart from the chat and talk that we see in the current days. It is teaching through examples, teaching through experiments, teaching through a message, and teaching not the mundane activities, teaching the highest. It is from the known to the unknown, from simple to complex, as we see the goals of education or golden rules of education that was shown through different ways of pedagogies, where the boy or the child or the disciple should understand, yes, he should get convinced, and the guru didn't say you have to accept, you question. 9 times he has questioned, and after 9 answers he accepted. So son accepted, he surrendered, and he became the knower of the Brahman, knower of Atman, and that became as the expounding theory of the Tattvamasi that comes in Chandogya Upanishad. This is the greatest teaching that we have in the whole Upanishads, where the existence that you see outside, the same principle you can appreciate as consciousness within your hearts. And that is there and this is there. It is limitless. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So that you are. So with that message, let us conclude the session with the Shanti Mantra. Tattvamasi. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.